Hi YouTube. Like I said, I've been doing some videos today, and I wanted to, I guess, give a little bit more background on me because in the video that I just did, I pulled out some information from this folder, and this folder represents like a year of my life, seriously, and I wanted to just like briefly explain to you what all led up to me even putting this together and what's in this, okay? And what led up to me putting this together was I was at a real bad place in my life, and my drug addiction was running rampant. My life was complete chaos. And the really bad thing about all this is like the drugs, like, they just overflowed, I guess you would say. It's like we never ran out. And, there was more. It wasn't just me, addictions, I have noticed it's never just you and your addiction. You only, your close people that you become with are also your addiction because you do your addiction with them, and they feed into the behavior of the addiction. You feed into their behavior of their addiction. So it wasn't just me, but I was part of this, and the drugs just never seemed to cease. And I just came to a point to where I was like, I really felt like I was trying to kill myself. I felt like I was trying to overdose on just drugs. I was just trying to, at the time it was cocaine and meth. Those are the main two things, but Oxycontins were readily available. They just made me throw up whenever I did attempt to take them. So I don't like throwing up, so I didn't, mess with them too often. But cocaine and meth, was the two drugs of my choice at the time, and I would rotate between them. I would have a meth pipe and a line right here, So it was just crazy. It was really bad. Well, I woke up one day and was like, you know what? All I do is get high, until I can't get high anymore, until my body shuts down, and then I sleep, and then all I do is wake up and get high again. And this had been like my life for months, and I was just so sick of it. I wasn't doing anything but getting high. That was it. I slept and got high. So I'm not exactly for sure what clicked in my head, but I was online. I was all tweaking out, and that was my thing. I got online and just tweaked out, and I came across the Baptist Children's Home, where one of the places where I was raised up at, and I was pissed off at the way they portrayed the place, because I do have some memories that are okay of that place, but the majority of my memories are horrible memories of that place. And I sent them an email, and I explained to them a lot of things that had happened, while I was there. And surprisingly, I just sent a general email, and surprisingly enough, they contacted me. And whenever they contacted me, I was just like, I've had enough. I'm for real, I've had enough. I'm done with this. I don't know what I need to do. I need some help, because I can't even figure out how to get myself out of this right now. I don't even know what decisions to make at this point. My mind is that fried. And these two people come into my life in the Baptist Children's Home, Andrea and Vicky. They start talking to me. They kept in contact with me for a couple of days, and they helped me get my head a little clear enough to make the decision to go ahead and admit myself into Baycare, the Harbor. And that's where this starts. That's where this comes into play. This is my admission. This is my discharge paper from me talking to them and deciding to turn myself over to them. And I did this December 22nd of 2007. That was the last day that I got high. And so I turned myself into there, and I also had, I was on the run. I had a warrant out for my arrest, so I was on the run, and I started getting clean. I was clean, and I started seeing my therapist, and that was a big thing that was weighing heavily on my mind. And she was like, well, what do you want to do about it? And I was like, I would really like to take care of it. So she suggested that, that I do that if that's where my mind was at and my heart was at that I should take care of it, and I'm like, why might go to prison? It's kind of hard to just take care of something whenever you might go to prison. And I'm not going to get into all my charges and all that stuff, but they are felony charges, and I've been on probation for a long time for them, and then I absconded, and that's where I was at. I was clean, but I was absconded from the law. I had a warrant out for my arrest, and I decided to turn myself in. So Andrea and Vicky, at the time, the vehicle that we had, that my fiance and I had, was not a great vehicle to go on long trips. So Andrea and Vicky take me to Lake City, Florida, because that is where I have to turn myself into. So I turn myself into there, and I'm going through this whole process. I'm in jail for 85 days. I've seen the judge. I asked the judge for rehab. He grants me rehab, but the state says that they want me to sit in jail until the rehab comes and gets me. Well, the state didn't end up doing their end of the paperwork, and the judge kind of got tired of it after 85 days and was like, look, if the paperwork's not done by today at 3 o'clock, she used to be released. And they didn't do it, so I got released, and I got sentenced home on house arrest until I went to rehab. That was the deal. That somehow did not get put into the paperwork. The paperwork was I was on house arrest. So anyways, so I go, I'm home. I'm going to Baycare. I'm on house arrest. I'm doing my weekly appointment with my house arrest officer. I'm seeing a therapist weekly. I'm taking medications. I'm going to DBT groups weekly. And I'm also seeing my physician every 2 weeks. So life's really busy for me at that point. I am freaking just trying to keep my mind as busy as freaking possible in order to not think about using drugs and to not get caught up in my addiction while I'm waiting for rehab. Well, in the process of waiting for rehab, I'm realizing that the state isn't doing shit. They're not doing anything for me to get me into a rehab, even though a judge sentenced me to the rehab. They're not doing anything. So I decided to take an active role in my recovery process, and I start calling rehabs. And one of the rehabs that a lot of the girls from the jail got sentenced to was the Phoenix House. So I call them, and I'm the one that put in the application for the Phoenix House. They never had an application filed for me from the jail. These are the people that can file the application. The jail, the judge, the probation officer, and the clerk of courts. None of those 4 people had filed application for me. I was the first application that the Phoenix House had received for me. So I get into the Phoenix House. They accept me. It's a process now, because they have to do paperwork and all this great stuff. But the judge agrees. That's where I'm going to be sentenced to. It's an 18-month-long program. And I have to wait in order to get there because I have to wait for a bed available. When a bed comes available, they let me know to go ahead and pack up my stuff, to go ahead and come in Monday. The call came on a Friday. They let me know that would probably be my last weekend for 18 months, at home. So pack up, be here Monday. That's whenever you check in. Well, whenever you get there and check in, it's a long process. And as they're checking me in, they are going through my medications, and this guy is like, are you serious? You take this many medications? And I'm like, yeah, most of them I take at least 3 times a day. There's only 1 or 2 pills in there that I only take one time a day. So he's like, okay. He goes, gets the director, and the director is like, no, we are not going to be liable for someone with this many we are not staffed with enough people here to, regulate this medication. They was like, our staff, our floor staff, is the one who, they don't administer the medication, but they watch them take their medication, and they make sure that, they're not taking off with their medication or anything like that. He's like, we're not having anything to do with this. So I'm like, what do I do? He says, you need to look into a dual diagnosis rehab that deals with your addiction and your mental health. And I suggest Avon Park. So I was like, okay, Avon Park. I apply for Avon Park. I hear from them within a week. And same deal. I get accepted. The judge agrees, but I have to wait for a bed to come available. So that's where I'm going to leave off right here, just for a minute. And I'm going to pick right up there, Avon Park. That's the next little phase in this folder, but we'll get there. All right.